All right, let's begin. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to introduce some methods and approaches that have been important and prominent until now. So we're basically going to introduce them in a kind of very introductory way. First, I consider very important to clarify some terms which are often used interchangeably. And those terms are approach, methodology, and method. Okay, so the first term, approach, refers to the set of beliefs about how a language is learned. For example, the belief that language learning is a natural and communicative process. The methodology, on the other hand, is the practical application of an approach. We can say it's a set of principles and strategies that guide teaching. Excellent. The method now is the step-by-step plan, the specific procedures, and the concrete activities used in the classroom to implement the methodology. Knowing this, and after clarifying those terms, we can start with the topic. Prominent approaches and methodologies for teaching English. The first one that I want to mention is the communicative language teaching. This is the most widespread approach today. Its core idea is that language learning happens through real communication. The principles are that, okay, one of them is that fluency is as important as accuracy. It also says that it encourages interaction, negotiation of meaning, and using the language in real life situations. Talking about the methodology, we can say that the classroom is student centered, not teacher centered. And the activities include debates, role playing, group projects, and problem solving activities. Also, grammar is taught in context, not as a list of isolated rules. The second approach is a task based learning, or TBL, and it is often considered a branch of the communicative approach. This method takes it a step further. It says that learning occurs by completing meaningful tasks. It focuses in using English for real life tasks to achieve practical goals. And we can also say that it's not focused on the correct language form, but on the task objective. Students use the language as a tool to complete an activity with a clear outcome. The methodology here is like the class is divided into three steps, or no steps but phases: the pre-task, task cycle, and language focus on and post-task. In the first one, the pre-task, the teacher introduces the topic and the task, and students discuss it to activate their prior knowledge. In the task cycle, the students perform the task in pairs or groups. The teacher acts as a facilitator, mm, monitoring the process. And in that phase number three, the language focus and pause task, here the students present the results of their task. The teacher then focuses on correcting errors and analyzing the grammatical structures that emerged during the activity. Let's go now with the audiolingual method. Mm, It focuses in repetition and drilling to develop automaticity. It is based on repetition, as I said before, and memorizing dialects. It aims to create language habits through constant drilling. Finally, that is very related to the previous one, is the grammar translation method. It focuses on memorizing grammatical rules and vocabulary and on translating texts. It doesn't encourage oral communication. Now knowing this and after discussing everything about some approaches and methodologies for teaching English, remember that in practice, educators often combine elements from various methodologies, creating an eclectic and flexible approach that best suits their context, of course. The key is always to prioritize active student participation and the authentic use of the language. Also, we are bringing, mixing, and matching. So we need to be engaged. We need to have fun. Thank you so much.